Hello everyone, MarcusWolfe here, welcoming you all back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. We started a trial last episode, and it does not look exactly promising. We honestly did not prove anything towards Maya's innocence. We technically really didn't. We found a contradiction, but it means nothing in the long run. We need more. Hopefully we can find more, otherwise this trial is as good as over. I really hope not, but oh god, help us. Help us. Well, during the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up Oh god, that sentence was weird. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. This scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface it does seem to make sense. Still, I won't give up that easily. But please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. Let's go. Let's try this one. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Well, now that you mention it, yeah, I get. You think you can get away with such a flimsy reasoning? Mr. Phoenix Wright, Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Karain channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With a nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Karain channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. About what you were talking about. I don't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. In other words, no one cares, Your Honor. Oh boy, poor guy. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fall back, sir. Oh my god. There we go. So, he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess our damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ah! Sorry. Oh, gumshoe. Well, while the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from? Well, it looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Now why would Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he ended up missing. So, you're saying the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya. Jeez, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. Well, the defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. Well, the victim had already taken off to safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it, pal, just by pulling the trigger. Even me? I wonder. Now, do you understand, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Von Karma's logic is perfect in every way. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. Oh no. I actually have to think. I don't know. Yes, I played this game, but I played this back in high school, and that was 13, 14 years ago. I haven't picked it up since. Because even then, I have a bad habit of remembering things. Oh, now I actually did forget. Oh no. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Fair. The victim used the last of his strength to fight back. Fair. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Fair. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Fair. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Okay, let me press again. Maybe there's something that I missed. Let me see here. There's quite a difference in height, yada yada yada. Now they mention it, yes, objection, blah blah blah. Flimsy reasoning. Yes, she was in the middle of channeling. Okay, so that is totally unnecessary. Don't need to know that one. Yes, I know. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him, which is very true. Think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. And then there's the thing about lightheaded dizziness, not helpful at all. The two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. So you already established that he was stabbed already, at this point. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where did that pistol come from? Dr. Gray bought it for that day. A handgun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Yes. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was heard. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, what did you say there? Wait, back up. Back up. Wait, back up. Oh shit, I did it again. I went too far. Yes, I know. That's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was heard. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was heard. Something about that doesn't make sense. I mean, it's already proven that Dr. Gray was stabbed first, and then shot. If the two of them were already fighting, and then a shot was heard, that seems to take into the idea that Dr. Gray was not stabbed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Yes, never fired a gun before in her life, already taken off the safety. I'm confused beyond belief. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Yes, that is true, I do not dispute that. Ow. Of course, he used the last of his strength to fight back. That is also not in dispute. Oh my god, my brain is in dispute right now. Oh god. Wait a minute. The two were already fighting when the shot was fired. I don't think that's right. Now that I think about it, I don't think that's right. Stabbed in the chest, and then at point blank. Gunpowder residue found around the hole. He was shot at point blank in the head. Wait a minute. No. He was The way he's okay, now that I think about it this way. The way he's phrasing the story, it sounds like that Dr. Gray was still standing. But the folding screen. Think about the folding screen. To think about a folding screen. I mean, see, a whole 8 inches off the ground. Now, from the angle that Dr. Gray was facing when he died, he was facing towards the folding screen. So it's very safe to say that this bullet hole was when he shot at Maya, or at least the person she was channeling. Why would he be shooting so low? It makes no sense. What else do you say? Took out his gun. I think it's right here. Cause think about it. Why would you shoot so low? It makes no sense at all, unless you're already on the ground. And don't forget, Maya is not hurt in any way, shape, or form. It's Dr. Gray. He's the one who got stabbed. So maybe he made the shot so low on the ground because he was already on the floor. God damn it. Okay, yeah, that's totally not it. Oh, piss poor. I might be in a slight trouble. Yes, I know. The victim, because they were too close, they missed. Whoa, that was weird. Check the button for details. There are burn marks. Huh. Autopsy report? Because he was shot at point blank. Okay, now. Oh, God, I am actually really lost. Oh, no. Okay, how about I crap shoot the pistol? Reason here being, it bears Maya's fingerprints. If Maya was channeling the nurse, why is her fingerprints on it? Oh, God. This isn't working. Oh, God. I'm losing here. I'm losing it. How about I present a costume here, because they were shot he missed? Does this I don't think that considers a miss? Okay, good. God damn it. Oh, that was a little bit... Oh, gosh. That was a little bit screwy. Anyway. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Eh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge one in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Oh, duh, frekata. Wait, you said it smelled faintly of gunpowder. Oh, a burn. Sorry, the burn. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Okay, I totally misunderstood. There's a bullet hole when it hit the bullet, and the bullet still had gunpowder residue on it, of course. But there's no burn on the shirt. I mean, you can see it's just a clean hole, no burn. I totally misunderstood that. God damn it. Now, this is what you testified earlier. When something is shot at point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh! But there isn't a single trace of a gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. Oh, I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see then. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then when they were separated that he fired. How was that? No way. As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim wouldn't have been able to have the strength to push the defender very far. Well, then, that's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Basically saying that the suspect pushed the victim away after stabbing him. I don't know what about it, but something just still doesn't make sense, in perfect honesty. I don't know what, but it doesn't make sense. There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Oh, fatal? Flaw? Ow! Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Oh, yes. I think I get it now. I think now it's time for the bullet hole on the screen. Because again, like I mentioned earlier, that's a bullet hole 8 inches off the ground, I think they said? Yeah, 8 inches off the ground. There's no way that the suspect was 8 inches off the ground. Heck, all you'd probably be shooting at is a calf. An ankle. Hello? There we go. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen. I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah! Ooh, where did that come from? Oh boy. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about, Miss Von Karma. Oh, what? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then through the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, Maya, the defendant, she was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. That too. Order! This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot. And the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. Oh, I see what he's saying. That actually makes sense. So basically saying that the suspect was over here in this general area. Dr. Gray, who's not yet dead, shot the bullet over there 8 inches off the ground. That's why it's not point blank. He missed. It's not point blank. Because that is more than 12 to 20 inches away. At this time, the defendant was in this area, which I already just kind of said right here. She was standing here near the folding screen. Now wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole, but how could you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it not possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should already know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ugh! Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright! You! I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways away from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? I guess then the question would become, what was she doing at the folding screen? That is the next question. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with a knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at that time? Squatting all the way by that folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike and kill? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Well, I'll figure that out to be a good reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oh. Alright. With this, the rest of the trial should be in the back. Oh, blast radius of disaster. Oh, you are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Oh, of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Oh, how is it all my fault? You can start repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take at this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That gotta be Lotta. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. And it's a break. Good. Oh, well, okay. Oh dear. I hate to admit this, but I think I kind of took 7 to 10 minutes being completely lost in that testimony, so this is probably going to be a short episode. Right now it's showing a recording of 27 minutes. I know it's not 27 minutes, so oops. That was terrible. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it end to this episode out of the way, and I will see you all on the next episode. Later, everyone.